Rumored to arrive around fall 2027, the Honda Prelude Type R could mark Honda's return to high-performance coupe segment with a vengeance. Honda enthusiasts have been begging for a Type S and Type R since the new Prelude has come out, and in this video we're going to talk about what it might look like, the price, and how much horsepower it might have. We're going to cover all of this in this video, so stay tuned. Welcome back, JDM fam. Thank you guys for watching. In this video, we're talking about the new Prelude because it's been out for a while, and there are a lot of really interesting rumors out there, especially what is going on in Japan in some of the magazines, as well as seeing what it could look like. And from what the pictures in this magazine shows, it looks really aggressive, and it definitely looks like a Honda Type R. So I'm really excited about this. Let's jump into the video right now, but before we do, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Okay, first thing we're going to start with is a post from Honda Pro Jason. Now, I know this is a few months ago, but it's still pretty recent. It says, rumors, will there be a higher performance version of the Honda Prelude? Super Spy Scoop from Japan, the latest issue of a Japanese magazine, claims that Honda is already working on two hotter versions of the new Prelude, a Type S 1.5-liter turbo, and later a full-on Type R powered by a K20C 2.0-liter turbo engine from the Civic Type R, specs being whispered: 330 PS, 6-speed manual transmission, front-wheel drive, and about 1,500 kg. Rumored to arrive around fall 2027, the Honda Prelude Type R could mark Honda's return to high-performance coupe segment with a vengeance. Now, the 1.5-liter turbo, that's probably going to be the SI engine, which is basically the base Integra as well. And then the K20C, obviously, is the Type R, and that's going to be the fastest variant of this Prelude. Now, I'm wondering, how light is this Prelude compared to a Civic sedan and the Civic Coupe 10th Gen, the last coupe that Honda made? If it is lighter or around as light as the 10th Gen Civic Coupe, this thing is going to be super fast, and I definitely am excited to see this. Now, obviously, the Civic Type R hatchback is a four-door, but it's a hatchback, so I'm wondering how much weight this thing is compared to the Civic Type R. I'm assuming it's probably going to be around the same weight, if not a little bit lighter, because it's a coupe, and it does look really small. I used Google Translate to read some of this article, so it might not be totally accurate, but it says speculated specifications include a 2.0-liter VTEC turbo hybrid engine producing approximately 330 horsepower. Now, I don't know if they would go hybrid with this. I doubt that they would, because the 330 horsepower, I believe, is somewhere around what the Type R actually produces, so I doubt it would be a hybrid, but who knows? You never know, because the Prelude's already hybrid. So who knows what Honda is actually thinking. It also says it highlights a projected release date around 2027 with a target price range between 7 million and 8 million yen. So I looked up how much 8 million yen would be in USD, and it says it's around close to $51,000, which would make sense because that's around what the Type R is, actually a little bit over, but for the most part, it's going to compete with the Type R's price. Now let's look at some pictures of the Prelude Type R. Now, it might not be completely accurate, but some of these Japanese magazines do get a lot of the predictions right of the cars that are about to come out, and I have to say, this looks great. I would love if the Prelude Type R looked like this and went into production looking like this. You could see the back bumper looks super aggressive, kind of has an Elantra N look to it, but I do like it. It looks futuristic, but still very aggressive. You could see the triple tip Type R exhaust, basically looks like the FL5 exhaust tips, as well as the FL5 style wing does make the back end really pop. You can see the FL5 style wheels as well, and this thing does look really good. The Prelude Type R would be very aggressive, has the Type R treatment, but still, it's going to look aggressive and have the performance versus the Prelude right now, which has Type R brakes, Type R suspension, but no Type R performance. Right here you could see the front end and the rear end view, and that front end with the Type R FL5 style hood and the more aggressive grille and all of that. And this Prelude Type R rear really does look more of like a Porsche kind of styling. I am loving that. It definitely is really aggressive, and people say that the GR86 is like a poor man's Porsche. This could be like something like that because it's going to be a lot more aggressive and a lot more power than the GR86, but it's still a little coupe with very sporty looks, but obviously more affordable than a Porsche. Now, if you think about it, Honda put all of these Type R parts in the Prelude. Why would they do that in the beginning if they didn't plan on making a performance variant later on? I don't know. Even a Type S variant with all of the Type R goodies in there would be really interesting and really exciting for the enthusiasts. Now, right here you could see the side profile. It does look like the current Prelude. It does look more aggressive though with that wing on the back as well as the Type R style wheels. It is based off of a Civic platform, Civic chassis, but it does kind of differentiate itself from the Civic Coupe, how the Civic Coupe was, because it does have a lot of the Type R stuff, as well as it is like more of a lift back versus a hatchback or a trunk. And the Civic Coupe did have a trunk. So this Prelude does have a lot of differences, but it does share a lot with the Civic, which is good as well because it's going to be cheaper if you replace parts. So I was really curious about these weights, so I looked up the weight of the 10th gen Civic Si Coupe, and it's around 2,800 to 2,900 pounds. Just keep in mind, these numbers might not be totally accurate, but it is something to look at, and they might be a little bit off, but it is interesting still. So it says the 2026 Honda Prelude Hybrid has a curb weight of approximately 3,261 pounds. That's a decent amount over the SI. The heaviest SI it says is 2,900 pounds, so that's over 300 pounds. 367 pounds, I think. So I actually looked up how much the Prelude would weigh if it didn't have the hybrid system. And you can see right here it says if Honda released a version of the Prelude without a hybrid system, it would likely weigh somewhere around 2,970 pounds to 3,010 pounds. This estimate is based on weight difference between the 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid, which shares the Prelude's powertrain, and its non-hybrid equivalent. So it's actually pretty smart how it came up with this. Basically, it just took away the hybrid weight and gave us somewhere around 3,000 pounds. So it would be crazy if we had a Prelude Type R, which would have 100 horsepower more than the Civic Si, but roughly weighs about the same as the Civic Si Coupe. So if all of these numbers are accurate, the new Prelude would actually weigh less than the FL5 Civic Type R by around 200 pounds, which would be a big difference. And obviously it is a coupe and it does look really small, so that would be a pretty big difference if you were actually racing this car. 200 pounds is a huge difference. That's basically a person, an average person in your car that you're not going to have in there. So that's a huge difference for a car. This is all speculation, and if they actually came out with a Type R hybrid version of this, then it would be a lot heavier anyways, but it is fun to try to figure out. So this is obviously some very exciting news. I have talked about the Prelude Type R, but I didn't go into what the price might be, as well as some of these pictures are just really fun to look at. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you guys think there's going to be a Type S very soon and a Type R in 2027? Let me know what you guys think. Also, let me know if you guys are looking at getting the base hybrid version of the Prelude, and if you guys would seriously consider getting this Prelude if there was a Type S and Type R. Obviously, I would be very interested. This thing looks so sick and very aggressive. Has that Type R plus like really sporty Porsche look to it, and I am just loving it. The Civic Type R has a long history. It's obviously legendary. Prelude is awesome as well, but a Prelude Type R would be a different level, and it would be very cool. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.